It's obviously key players for the D's. Maxi's up there with Goldie as one of the dominant ruckmen in the competition, and Jack's a super midfielder for him. So yeah, obviously some key outs, but we certainly know what key outs looks like as well. So we've got our fair share coming into this game and have for a while now, but certainly they're big outs for the D's, and gives a couple of guys some opportunities for them. So it's yeah, it doesn't really change our mindset going into the game.
Will Goldie be slightly disappointed not to be coming up against Gorney?
I don't know about disappointed. I think Goldie's going really well. He's been playing some really good footy. It would have been an unbelievable matchup to see those two go head to head again. But it's not to be, and hopefully we can get an advantage with Goldie in the ruck.
Rhyce, just on that, do you sort of talk about it as a general advantage for the team and say, look, although we're missing players, they're missing some as well. We've got to make the most of that.
Oh, not really. We don't really address it. We worry a lot about what we're doing at this point in time, and wherever we can gain an advantage, we'll try and do that. But we don't talk about specifics in terms of that. We're really worried about what team and how we're functioning, and we'll go through that a little bit more tomorrow. But at this point, we just talk about ourselves and what we're going to do.
Jamie McMillan's last game for a while, will that be the case?
Yeah, to this point, Mark, he'll head home after this one. So it's really exciting for him and Liv, so they get to experience something which is really amazing, and that's the birth of their first child. So Jamie's pretty excited about that, but also it's a bit bittersweet because he has to leave the team and the AFL for a period of time.
Still really when you're getting back, Rhyce? Like, is he giving you any time frame, or are you not pushing that sort of thing because it is such a special moment in his life?
Yeah, we won't be pushing any time, and especially with the quarantine details around leaving Victoria, we've still got to work through that scenario as well. But we'll let them enjoy the birth of their first child, and we'll assess after that when Jamie's comfortable.
I realise Ben Brown will be reassessed heading into the next match, Rhyce, but you hopefully can play again this season?
Yeah, for sure. I don't see why not. He seems pretty confident with that. We'll keep assessing him over the next period of time, especially leading up to the Brizzy game. But yeah, we're really confident that we'll see him again shortly.
There's obviously been a fair bit of chat about his future. Is he sort of part of your long-term plans, or certainly next season's plans?
Yeah, well,
or is that still going to be?
We're not going to discuss any of those matters at this point in time because Ben's really important for us. We want to get him back on the park as quick as we can. He's a valuable player, and we'll assess his knee as we get going, and hopefully can get back as soon as we can because he is really important for us.
Aiden, LDU and Larky all back in?
LDU and Larky will come back into the side. Sam Durden will also come in. Ronnie probably just needs another couple of days. These short turnarounds are just not giving us enough time, so he'll miss out again. But Will Walker and Lockie Hosey will also miss out this week.
A fair few changes. You thought that was important with the short turnaround?
Yeah, look, we're pretty much forced to do these changes just because of the nature of the fixture. In saying that too, though, it's great to give our guys some opportunities. We saw young Will Walker get back after so long out of the game last week, and it was fantastic to see him out there. We feel as though we've found something there, and we feel as though we can do something in the future, and Lockie Hosey kicked 2 goals. Saw that he could play at the level as well. Still a few things he can work on, but it's just great to get that exposure for these guys.
Just in terms of the Richmond news that came out yesterday, have you spoken to the players, or will you speak to players about what's appropriate and what's not in rooms and those sort of scenarios?
No, I don't think so. I think we understand as an industry now that that kind of stuff's there's no place for it. So I think the comments around that have been made, and we understand where it all sits. So I think we'll just leave it at that, I reckon.
Can I just ask you, in a general sense, did it shock you or surprise you the way that sort of came out yesterday and the way it was all received?
Yeah, to be honest, I really haven't had much time to think about it. I've got a bit going on at the moment. We've had 2 4-day breaks and spent a fair bit of time with my players and coaches over the last couple of days. So really don't take too much notice of it. We understand that it's not appropriate, and we'll move on pretty quickly from that.
Has it been difficult at all, Rhyce, for players to, like, the staging's obviously been a bit of an issue again. Is it tough for players to sort of avoid that in the game in such the heat of the battle, if you know what I mean? Or is it something you talk to them about, or you just don't want your boys sort of doing that?
What are you referring to? Sorry?
I guess like the Papri incident as well.
Yeah.
And there's been a bit, I guess, about Ward over from yesterday as well. Just sort of staging for free kicks and that, and just the general sense of,
yeah.
You know, like.
I'm not sure it's that bigger deal, to be honest. Staging for free kicks has been going on for 100 years. I think the competition are now cracking down on them. So I think that's where it sits, to be honest. I don't think it matters what I say. But our team is really strong over the ball, and we try and play everything on its merits. And I think the North Melbourne brand will come out and be really clear. So in terms of staging, we don't really talk about that stuff.
Rhyce, you've talked about in recent weeks that you haven't been able to play scratch matches, obviously the compressed fixture, but mainly because of the long injury list.
Yep.
The list size of discussion, it's gone away a little bit in recent times, but what's your take on it from the experiences you've had this year and how it's affected the preparation of the second tier guys trying to push in?
Yeah, it's certainly been difficult for us in terms of our injury list. It's been fairly significant for a fair chunk of the season. It probably hasn't allowed our guys the opportunity to play in those scratch matches just because we can't afford to lose them. We need bodies to pick from. But in terms of the concept, I think it's really warranted, the discussion around these scratchies, and I love the fact that we can get out there and play competitions against other teams, and the flexibility we have around that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future with the list sizes and the second tier competition and how that's going to function. But I think there's opportunity for us to really create something pretty good and financially viable that'll work for all clubs. Anyone going to ask how I'm going, or that's it?
How are you, Rhyce? How are you holding up?
4-day breaks in a hub for the last 8 weeks. I'm going well. The sun's been good. It's a bit cold in Adelaide, but Gold Coast has been fantastic. Queensland's been amazing for us, and I get to see my kids in 5 days, so I'm wrapped with that.
What about us, Victoria, Rhyce? Didn't ask about us.
Yeah, I've got plenty of news down from Victoria. It's obviously not going great down there, but hopefully everyone can get through, and we come out the end of it down there a bit better off than we are right now.